Great stuff.
Good stuff. Yeah, so and again, so you understand that the reloads are working with real estate agents, so you get that. That's awesome. Good. In your price range, we'd say 95 to 100% of the buyers in your price range are going to from relocation. So you need a company with a huge reload network.
We figured that.
Yeah. Absolutely. And then again, the third type of buyer, oh, I really like the pool. You said, awesome pool out here. The third type of buyer is an investor. Real estate investor. Investors, they want to pay 60 cents on the dollar. Maybe, best case, they want to pay 70. Obviously, you guys don't want to deal with any investors. Yeah, you're not going to deal with investors, right?
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, there's investors that actually take classes on how to beat up for sale by owners. Did you guys know that?
I didn't know that.
We didn't think though at this price range we wouldn't be working with.
You guys should go to that class, absolutely. So what are these double? Look at these big, bad AC units. Wow, what are those things, like 20,000 each?
Yeah, I think so.
Those are awesome. All right. Yeah, so obviously you don't want to deal with any investors. And then the fourth type of buyer, market, or what we call tire kickers or looky-loos. You know what looky-loos are? These are those people that are always...
We've seen quite a few of those here.
Yeah, they show up at your open houses. We've seen some that looked at an open house we had 2 years ago, and then they showed up again last week and still haven't bought. So you don't want to deal with any looky-loos, right?
Correct.
So reality is, out of the four types of buyers, only 2 of them are real buyers, and only 1 is a real buyer for your house. And the one that's the real buyer for your house, you're talking about 95 to 100% are working with real estate agents. So very, very important to get those real estate agents involved. Wouldn't you agree with that?
I think so, yeah.
All right, awesome. And we got a really, really great relocation. So very, very excited about that. So why don't you finish on the house? I want to share a story. That presentation I just did, I left a for sale owner's house. I called him back the following Monday, and he just shrugged me off. He's like, yeah, sure, whatever, yeah, looky-loo, sure, okay. So I called him up, and his name was Paul, and I said, hey, Paul, how was your weekend? He said, I had an open house. I said, how'd your open house go? He goes, just a bunch of looky-loos. Right there, I knew I had him. Right there, I knew I had him. And I ended up getting a listing. 2 weeks later, he listed with us. All right, so people don't know. What people don't know will hurt them. And that's what our job is to be consultants, right? To educate people, to let people know what's going on, understand the market, and educate our clients on the market and the things like what we just talked about. A lot of sellers won't understand, they don't understand that. So that's kind of an easy way to explain where buyers come from. So the fourth is finally the consultation. So we've gone through, we've done the problem presentation. So now we're going to kind of just sit down at the table here, and I'm going to trip over this thing right here. And, okay, so, well, hey, you guys have an amazing house.
Thank you.
I really appreciate the opportunity.
We hate to leave it.
Yeah, so I would too, and I know you guys definitely told me about your situation, so we want to help you get this done as quick as possible. So, I mean, is that still the case, Mark? You had told me you really wanted to be in Boston for the New Year's?
That is the case, yeah.
Okay. All right.
And it's becoming more stressful as time's going on.
Okay. How so?
I think once we made the decision to move forward with selling the house, it has caused a strain in our household where now we want to get out quicker, but we also know that we're losing a fair amount of money from what we first put into the house.
Yeah.
And we struggle with walking away from that.
Yeah, so that's tough. That's tough. And we're seeing that a lot because obviously the market has declined so much. So when we spoke originally, you did say that if we could get 800, you would be okay with that. Is that still the case?
I don't know if I said that.
Well, when I called initially, I said if I could get you, I could actually know. I'm sorry, maybe I was talking to you.
No, I doubt it. I would never say that.
I was talking to another whole couple of
I would never say that.
Well, sorry about that. So now you guys are asking 900.
We are asking $899.
$899. Okay. All right. Now let me show you. We looked through the comps. I did. You got my CMA ahead of time, right?
I did.
Did you look through that?
I did.
Okay. You didn't.
No, I did. I glanced at it. I didn't honestly have a lot of time. I drive 2 hours back and forth to work every day, so by the time I get home.
Why don't we do this then? We can load it right here. We have wireless on this thing. We have the MLS, and we'll load it up, and we'll see what's going on. And we can kind of let you decide where you think we should list the house. How's that sound?
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Okay, so, there you go. So what do you think now? If you're noticing, this house is about 1.5 miles from here. That one sold for $825, and square footage is saying it's around 5,000 square feet, or about 4,600.
Yeah, that was that couple, they had horrible taste.
And then if you're looking at this property right here on C Street, this one actually sold for $750. That's 5,200 square feet.
We know them, right? We know them. They were the couple that, they were going through a divorce and they just got rid of their house.
They
basically dumped it. I know them really well. They're really good friends.
Now, it's tough like that. So many stories like that in this market. Then you have the banks just throwing stuff out there.
Yeah,
Then you have all these short sales.
They're hurting us.
Yeah,
we understand.
So you
Work for the banks, we could probably get what we paid for it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's the only market we have though, right? I mean, this is the market we have to work in. And now you would also mention when we talked that you really wanted to get rid of that commute as well.
Yeah,
right?
that's the one thing. I would stay here if it wasn't for the commute.
Yeah, you did.
I don't have to be in Boston. I could live here. I like the house,
Sure.
but it's a long ride.
That 2.5 hours is just killing you, right? It's only 2.5 in the morning and almost sometimes.
Well, it's about 2 hours each way and a couple $100 a week in tickets.
That's 25 hours a week, plus I don't know what kind of tickets you're getting, but I mean,
They're students. I think they have my car marked.
And it's really killed their sex drive.
let me dig a little deeper on that one. All right, so why don't we do this? Here's the range we have. You're at about 4,600 square feet. It's showing us right here. We're looking at the different brackets. This is what is moving based on the square footage. You're going to fall in 4,500 to maybe 5,000 square feet. So what the market's telling us is that we should be priced right around 800,000.
That's hard.
Okay.
And that's leaving $300,000 in equity. Or in cash, honestly, not even equity, it's cash. It's money we put into the house that we won't get back out.
And it's not 300,000. We still have to talk about paying you.
Yeah. Well, the real challenge now though is the market, because right now we're in such a busy time of year. This time, did you know that right now, this fourth quarter, this is the time when most of the major corporations are doing their reloads? And we already determined earlier that our buy is going to be 100% from relocation. So we need to capitalize on the relocation market. The other thing going on is the interest rates are so low right now. So people are making these moves. I'm hearing that the Schiller report saying that we might experience double-digit declines coming into this spring. So we're talking about maybe 300,000 today. What's it going to be in spring? 375?
We don't know.
Exactly.
It could be better.
Well, it could be. Again, though, when you're looking at the market, you're looking at the statistics, and you're looking at all the properties these banks are holding, I mean, what do you think it's going to get better?
I don't know, it's an election year, and usually that does stimulate some kind of a growth in the economy. So it could tick up a little bit.
It could. It absolutely could. You know,
I don't think it's going to go back $300,000. I mean, we're realistic about the fact that we bought at the wrong time, overpaid for our house. We know that.
Mhm.
It's just, you know.
I know it's
tough. It's hard. Give me $300,000. See how much it hurts.
Well, what I can do is make sure that you don't lose an additional 100,000.
Okay.
That's what I'm hearing.
Well, we're listening.
So I mean, it's definitely a tough market. The market's definitely declined. We both agree the banks are holding millions of bank-owned properties that they're slowly releasing into the market.
We have
It's
heard
going to have an effect. So what we really need to do is get the house listed on the market right away and get it sold.
We understand where you're coming from.
Okay.
So this is something that we can talk about when you're not here. Why don't you talk to us about commission?
Okay, sure. Well, our fee is completely negotiable. But what I would ask you, Mark, is what's more important, our fee or what goes in your pocket at the end?
What goes in our pocket?
I agree.
Exactly. So what we want to do is we want to sit down and put together a plan so that we can help you capitalize and get every single penny in your pocket. How does that sound?
It sounds great.
Okay. So is the only challenge we're having right now just the price? That's it?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, I'd like to hear what you're gonna do to market our house.
Okay, yeah, you went through the 28-point marketing program, correct? I mean, we know right now.
Yeah, I glanced at it.
Okay, I mean, both of you guys, very sophisticated. Where did you start your search?
on the internet.
On the internet, same thing that all the buyers do, same thing that most of the relocation buyers need to do. So 90% of our efforts are going to go into the internet. So what I can do is have my assistant put together, a package with all the marketing, all the different websites we use. We'll get that right over to you. Okay? Guaranteed you're going to have the exposure. We just need to get some buyers in here. We need to get it on the market right away before we lose the opportunity. You did say you wanted to be in Boston before December 31st. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, excellent. And that's what we want to do. And you said you're sick and tired of commute.
I am. Oh, but, we are also considering entry only
Okay.
as a possibility so that the relocation people can see it on the internet and on Realtor.com or whatever it is you guys use.
Well, one of the things that we're seeing with the entry only is because so many agents just, unfortunately, what the National Association of Realtors statistics are showing is entry only is only netting anywhere from 88 to maybe 91% of list to sale price versus a full service agent like myself is netting about 97%. You know why that is?
No.
Because a lot of agents just don't feel comfortable working with homeowners. They feel there's an emotional attachment. It's the same philosophy as why do we tell owners not to be there during showings? Because the buyers feel uncomfortable. So that's why we're able to know a lot more. And you're not going to, discount real estate is discount real estate. That's what you're getting, is discount. You're not getting the additional 40 sites. You're not getting the virtual tours we offer. You're not getting the negotiations we offer. And we're proactive. Okay, we're reaching out, we're making calls, there's a lot of things we're doing that you're just not going to get with that. And that's why we're going to be able to get you 97% versus the 88% you get. So you might think you're saving 2.5%, however, what you're really doing is losing about 8%. Does that make sense?
It makes sense what you said.
Well, the other thing, here, think of it like this then. Think of it like this, Mark. Here's what discount real estate does. You're actually paying a buyer's agent to come and negotiate against you and you. Saying, here you go, here's 2.5% to come to my house and negotiate against me. Negotiate on price. I'm going to get my buyer an awesome price on your house. They're going to come in dirt low. Then they're going to negotiate again at the home inspection, right? They're going to come in after the inspection. We're going to want more money off. Then they're going to try to nickel dime you at the appraisal, right? Then they're going to be at the wall. If you even make it that far.
I don't disagree, but I do think that our little drill sergeant would do a great job negotiating as well.
I'm sure she's an excellent negotiator.
I think I agree with that point. I do kind of agree with the fact that they might be beating us up
They're certainly
and
not
taking
working for
advantage
us.
of the time that
Sure.
we're not there to show the house.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that we're going to bring to the table. So why don't we just get the house on the market, get this thing sold, get you guys in Boston for the new year.
So you're saying that the reason we're not selling our house is because we're for sale by owner and because nobody wants to deal with us, the real people can't find us, the investors would bottom line us,
Yeah.
and so why wouldn't we just try $899?
Well, because what you want is you want the buyers to see the house's price right and come in. If
You just told me how beautiful it was.
Well, it is absolutely beautiful.
I mean, it's Brazilian cherry and steel floors and porcelain toilets. And sure, it's worth $899.
It's an amazing house, as you mentioned earlier. And again, remember we talked earlier about the internet? One of the first things the buyers are going to do is they go to the internet and they look at properties that are comparable to yours. And if they even feel that it's that overpriced, they're just not going to show up. Now, I know the goal, Mark. I know the goal, Laura, is to get you guys to Boston for the new year. So if I put $800 in your pocket, is that going to get it done?
I don't know if it's going to get it done for us. I think that that's something we'll have to decide.
I think it's a big chunk, and I kind of want to think about that.
Okay, and I know also you mentioned earlier, I don't know, how we doing with time?
All right.
We're gonna wrap it up.
All right, fine, we'll give you the listing.
We'll give you the listing if she gets the sex drive back.
So, again, it's, step 5 is, so we're over?
No, you can finish up.
Okay, all right, awesome. So, all right.
So now you're saying you can put 800 in our pocket, not list at 800 and we're gonna end up with like 740,000.
Well,
Because, you know, like your fee's pretty big. That's a big chunk.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna market it so that we can put every penny in your pocket. That's the goal. So the 800 is probably what a buyer's willing to pay. So what I can do for you, as I said earlier, if I don't have to split the fee with the other agent, then we're gonna take a little bit less. Does that work for you?
It works for me.
All right, so is the only challenge you have now just the price?
I think that is the challenge that we're having right now, is the price.
So what's your thought?
I was honestly hoping you'd come in here and tell me that you're gonna put it on the market at $899.
I wouldn't be doing, I'd be doing you a disservice because we have no shot of selling it at $899. That's the problem. You just-
And I almost knew that, but I was hoping we could split the difference.